Hiya, hello, welcome. Today my Thursday thoughts are about spiritual awareness in the corporate world, by which I mean private and public sectors, any large organisations where the exchange of goods and services are given to the people that you serve, your clients, your customers, your council taxpayers. If you're a HR manager or a managing director or a CEO with a retention problem, today's Thursday thoughts might help you. Or if you're in a leadership role and you're needing to understand your own current spiritual awakening, and you're feeling that uncomfortable feeling as you align out of the chaos of disruption of the socioeconomic environment that we've all been feeling, away from authoritarian behaviours that no longer serve us. Perhaps you are leaning into transformative spaces, then this might help you. My name is Lilly, and I have studied and practiced Buddhism for over 30 years with a daily and a global community practice as I've travelled all over the world. Both the theoretical study and the lived experiential nature of my practice. In other words, I've had a few what people term as proof of practices. I'd like to share them with you probably another time. I've worked in the public sector, the commercial and charity sector, and I've also been a therapist and a healer since my first spiritual awakening in the early 1990s. I haven't been constantly in that therapy and healing space. That's a bee, that's a good sign. I haven't been constantly in that therapy and healing space, but the universe just keeps whacking me back into this service space. So I kept returning to the corporate worlds, to those public and commercial sectors, because of programming that I would need a proper job to survive. That decision was based on fear. So obviously my most fruitful, enjoyable and valuable opportunities didn't come to me that way. They came to me in much less stressful ways, almost without trying. And you've probably had that happen to you. I have lived positive change management experience as an independent founding non-executive director, setting up a new public housing company, a government arm's length company, if you like. And as an independent director, aligning social housing tenants and councillors on a board was not that easy. It was a challenge. Together, we set strategy targets, key performance indicators, developed good governance, audited finance, and hopefully enabled positive cultural changes through the appointment of new CEOs and corporate directors, and through supporting staff as they transferred their roles from public sector to private. Obviously still housing and supported housing. That also was not an easy ride. Sadly, I also have lived negative experience of unplanned change management in the form of a disappearing team. And that was brought about by the egotistical actions of one person who was described to me as willful, clever, cunning, and who either had a complete inability to retain, nurture and support positivity and individuals and grow a cohesive team, or their strategy was to get rid of everyone and start again. I heard phrases from colleagues like, it's their way or no way, or actually they're gaslighting you, Lily. I'd never been in a transactional relationship where I'd had this kind of issue before of trust. But I understand that you might have come across people like this. You might have even been a person like this. But as you're awakening and stepping away from that, want to behave in a different way, you may have closed ranks around a person who behaved like this. If that felt uncomfortable for you, I am here to support your realignment with your true self. If you're in a position where you're a manager who actually cares, and you're able and enabled not to see people and human resources as an expendable resource, but as a developing human being, you really can only take these next steps if you support your own inner development. I would suggest that the culture of HR in large corporate organisations would be the best place to be changing this culture, supporting individual self-development and aligning spiritual awareness and inner transformation, if you like, with organisational transformation and the wider societal environmental transformation. Because the only way that we're going to transform society is if we first transform ourselves and move away from those old behaviours. And we are increasingly becoming aware that those ways of working no longer serve us. I mean, just look around you. I don't work in a high-powered way like Tony Robbins, for example. I'm an empath, and I have aligned and learned to manifest in a calm stillness. Now, that was a hard lesson for me, and I am really hoping that your own transformations are much smoother and pain-free. So stay clear, stay present.